Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Jack. Yeah. We'll trash talk Tom if you want some. Yeah, that's fine. How are we doing, everyone? All right. Well, I see a few people in the channel. I hope you can all can hear me. How is everyone doing this evening? I see Dave's here. Jack, Isaac as well. Hello there. How are we doing? Um, and Daryl, Pinhead, Larry, Gavin. Welcome. Good to see you all. Nice to have you all here. Well, I'm a little bit merry. I might add I'm on a week off at the moment, and I am currently drinking some whiskey at the moment because that's the mood I'm in. So I've had a couple before I started streaming. I don't know if it was a good idea or not. We'll soon find out. I'll I'll try and behave myself. And Tragus is saying he had to stop playing a terrible tank game for this. Admittedly, I was playing that same tank game with them literally a few minutes ago, well, about half an hour ago. So, yeah. But anyway, as you can see, I am currently on my own. Unfortunately, Dom has had an injury, which means he can't actually sit and stream tonight, which is a shame, obviously. Oh, what whiskey is it, Jack? It's Glenmorangie. So I'm currently enjoying. I've still got about half a bottle of that left, so I thought I would just have a little bit more of that. Unfortunately, I haven't got any whiskey glass, which is really annoying, and I need to buy some because it's something I've only recently just picked up. To be fair, which I've quite. Yeah, I'm normally quite a beer drinker, really, but in this particular case, that's what I'm drinking tonight. So from a stupidly tall glass, which is highly irritating. Anyway, so obviously Dom's not here tonight, but I'm still going to go ahead. We've had a um, we've had we had a discussion about the entries for the challenge, and we've come to a conclusion on that one. So that's always go. We're not going to do that right. I won't do that right now. Obviously, I'm just going to sort of jump into some other bits and pieces. And obviously, as traditional with us, here I'm carrying on working with my sister's vehicles here. Um, as you can see me in massive screen this time round rather than a split screen. So hopefully you can see them particularly well. Um, Hello, Peter. Good to have you with us, man. Um, yeah, so that's what I'm working on tonight. So, what is everyone else currently got in front of them? I would like to know very much while I start to get some of this paint out um, on this fine Tuesday evening. I'm still playing a tank game. Ah, that's good as well. And if you're talking about War Thunder, there's a few of us currently playing that actually. I don't know whether Dom's in chat or not. He might be. So Felpower is blending greens on the Overlord, and Captain Jack is going through some bits tonight and having a little sort. Mr. Blue is working on some Chaos Marines, or Chaos Marine Squad number 4, I might add. And Aaron has got Epic Encounter, Frost Giant. Very nice. I'd like to see that. Yeah, keep us posted on that one. Hello, Mr. Lee. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Daryl is raging about my students. Yeah, I heard about that earlier. That's quite funny. I won't go into details in case you want to keep it quiet, obviously. I'm looking at the Dark Elder previews on the community site. Yes, I saw there was some of that. There was also, speaking of that, actually, there was also a little shadow of what looks like to be a sister battle vehicle. Which, if you check our Facebook, I think Dom posted up a picture of it earlier. So if you're interested in what that might be, it definitely looks like a vehicle because it's got the side braces on it and all that kind of stuff. So Peter's trying to finish it. Sorry, Pinhead is working on converted models. Oh yeah, yes, I saw them earlier. They look really good. A lot of effort's gone into them actually, man. So good work with that. And Peter should be finishing my Blood Bowl elves playing Mass Effect. Okay, so I know the problem with playing games sometimes when, cause playing me, I'm a PC gamer, and I do sometimes neglect the hobby in favour of that sometimes. I do admit that, but it does depend on what mood I'm in. So, um, and Captain Jack is in a proper love-hate relationship with War Thunder. Matchmaking is rather silly. Yes, we experienced that ourselves, where we purposely devised our squad down to a particular battle rating so we can actually try and keep in our bracket, so to speak. And Sam Chalk is currently browsing the Goblin Game website. I won't do a snap advertisement off that. We'll wait on that one a little bit. Well, it's good to see that everyone looks like they're pretty busy with stuff tonight. So obviously keep us posted on how you're going on throughout the evening. As I'm on my own tonight, I'm not sure how long I'm going to stream for. Just to let you know, it's more that I tend to find my voice runs out with me constantly rabbiting on. Because as some of you may know, I do talk a lot sometimes when I'm on my own. So I feel I have to fill the silence as he goes quiet again. Yes, but obviously there's a few things being Warhammer community side, because obviously with the new box set, I think obviously on the horizon. I think there's going to be quite a few reveals for Sisters and Drakari, I suspect, which is actually obviously one of my Sister Battle is one of my armies, so I always try and keep an eye on that. Although I did miss this particular preview because Dom saw it before me, but he did very kindly post it in our WhatsApp group. Just to sort of say, oh, what's this here? So I am going to jump on there and have a quick look at that in a second while we're on the stream. I also, obviously, Bellacor's had some new rules and stuff. So, just out of interest, what's everyone thinking about Bellacor? Anyone had a chance to have a look at his rules and stuff like that? And what I'll do is I'll just finish this little section on here, and I might just dive on that and just pull them up quickly, and then we have a quick look. And then shortly we'll obviously go through the results for the challenge, because Dom has sent them over to me, so I have them already queued up. But let's just get on over to the community site here and let's have a quick look at what is going on, because didn't really have a chance to have a proper look through, because there is actually currently up there. There's a Drakari section with 7 rules they've revealed. And Daryl is definitely buying Be'lakor as soon as he can. I must admit, he looks like a fantastic model. So I think if you like your demons, Pinhead Daryl thinks they're great as well. So that's cool. I'm just going to spin down. Yeah, okay, that's mainly Drakari stuff. Where's the old? Here we are. Be'lakor returns. So obviously, anyone who hasn't seen him, I would recommend hopping over to the Warhammer community site and just looking in the Warhammer 40k section for his model, because it is insane. And Mr. Blee says he's falling in line with the Catans and Primarchs, a powerful big model to be folk. Yeah, that's cool. And I think that's obviously what he's supposed to be. I do like the fact they've kept it with the AOS and 40k crossover. So it's quite nice to see that they're still doing that, because it does mean that, I mean, obviously if you play demons, it's quite nice to know that you could technically use them in Age of Sigmar anyway. So yeah, that's because one of the things I was potentially going to collect at some point was some Nurgle demons, because I actually, they fit with my Nurgle army and stuff like that. But however, speaking about new army collections, that'll be coming later, because I have I'm going to sort of pitch something to you guys and see what you think, for anyone who's currently on the stream. And also, I am just speaking of that particular thing. I am going to quickly pop a link up for our Discord for anyone in here who currently isn't involved with our channel. Here we go. Gavin's saying Tyranids. You never know. So I've just put in chat there. I've just popped a link in for our Discord. So if you haven't joined us, please come along. Me and Dom love reading all your comments every day. It really keeps us sort of engaged with what we're doing with the channel, and also just people showing up there now and engaging with us is fantastic as well. So if you are new to this particular live stream, pop in there and you can come and interact with us as well. We can get you invited in as a member, so you can see all our little sub chat channels and things like that. So anyway, Be'lakor. I mean, I might be able to do a couple of little snifty little. Let's have a look here. Let's try and be clever on the fly. I don't normally like trying to edit things on the fly, but I have done this many times. Here we go. Okay, so we'll go Okay, one. This is the kind of thing I really should queue up in advance, really. There we go. So let's pop in here. Drop in here, browse on there. So I have got here. There we go. Blade. So there's his weapon stats. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Oh dear. Um, I've just popped up there the stats for Be'lakor, for his weapons anyway. So, and yeah, it looks quite interesting. I might just make that a bit bigger actually. Each time he attacks with this weapon, the profile will make two hit rolls instead of one. That's quite nice. And each time an attack is made with his weapon, profile and vulnerable saving throws cannot be made against the attack. So that's obviously makes him pretty good against people with hefty invulnerables, which is quite nice. Um, so yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that. Sam Short, Felpire is trying to get me to play Tau. Don't play Tau, honestly. Um, although, okay, if you really like the Tau, play the Tau. By the way, I must admit at this point I've kind of abandoned painting because normally when there's two of us I can kind of concentrate on that and that, but at the moment I'm having to concentrate purely on what I'm doing on the other screen now. So I must admit I'm having trouble. I will be finishing these probably during the week that I've got off. Felpar says they're basically Gundam and that's his jam. I mean, fair enough. Honestly, if that is it, yeah, then yes, definitely play them if that is what you like. I'll just see if there's a couple other rules I can nick out of here because I think there's, yeah, here we go. So we've got two special rules here that he's got. So bear with. Let's just overwrite this one. I should instantly replace it hopefully on the stream. There we go. So he's got two other specials there. Let's do a little split screen on my other screen. I need a third screen. I think I need a third screen. I do actually have a third screen at work, which is very useful for my work. But obviously, streaming-wise, I might be pushing it a bit, especially on my desk. So, Immortal Vigor. This model has a 4+ invulnerable save. Each time a ranged attack is made against this model, subtract 1 from that attack's wound roll. Pretty good. And then Shadow Form. Each time an attack is made against this model, your opponent cannot re-roll the hit roll. So that kind of negates a lot of the Space Marine messing about and what else? Other things that I would presume would be added later into other codexes in the future, I suspect, because I think some rerolls are going to be sort of spread around a bit more than maybe just the Space Marine codex. Each time an attack is made against this unit, subtract 1 from the attack. So yeah, cool. Must confess, quite tempted with him myself. I'm not quite sure what the hell I would use him for. I want to see the rest of his stats. The interesting thing with him coming out and the Demon Codex being out of date, obviously I think a lot of people probably would want to see maybe those rules getting, the Codex for them coming out as well. I mean, obviously he'll have his own data sheet, which is fair enough. But I think it would be nice to actually see, I'd love to see the Demon Codex basically. I think that'd be awesome. It's been a long time. I mean, demons have been quite down tiers for quite a while. So we've got a couple of comments about the Tau. So Gavin says Gundam have swords and Tau are like, bonding knife. Okay, I suppose that's a fair point. Tau are generic mobile suits that get blown up by the Gundams. The GS. Use him like. So Mr. Blue says you use him to hunt custodians. Yes, actually, he'd be very good against custodians. So that is actually a fairly good point. I'll just knock that off there, and I need to queue up the challenge pictures now on here, so that when they're ready in a minute. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so basically, I'm going to do the challenge stuff in a second. However, just before I start that, I'm going to give you something to mull over while we're doing the challenges. So I don't necessarily need any answers on this particular question right now, so just have a think about it while we're doing the challenge winners. So as you know, I've got quite a few armies. And there's obviously Dom and a group of our other friends are doing a little crusade based thing. Now I do kind of want to get involved with it, um, and I want to start a new army, but I actually thought it would be quite fun for a change is actually to get you guys involved with me creating that army to make it kind of like a thing where you help me decide certain aspects of the army so that you guys can feel a part of it, and then when we play it on play it on streams and sorry on battle reports stuff that you may have had an input into the army and things like that. So essentially, I'm what I'd like to do is get you guys to possibly decide which army it might be, what the major color scheme might be as well. Um, I should be like in neon pink. Sam Chalk, it's funny you say that. I actually joked with Vicky those exact two colours with her a little while ago, which is quite amusing. But yeah, but also because it's going to be more of a crusade-based force rather than maybe being a competitive match play force. I would like to kind of focus it around a very thematically done army. So anything that I can do to keep it in. However, Jack, Drukari is not on the table. I will not play Drukari. It is so it's one army I cannot get on with. Same with the Eldar. There's the two ones that I will flatly not play. Anything else I'm probably fair game with. But Drukari and Eldar, it's just I'm not a big fan of it's kind of the aspect of the models. Or aspect. That was probably quite a well used word actually in that particular that particular case. I'm not a big fan of how they look, and I'm not a big fan in how they play myself. It's not really my style of playing 40k, so they would probably have to be off the table. And obviously, as I'm not necessarily no Buzz Lightyear colours yet, no. Okay, saying sad face. Sorry, it's just I've tried Eldar. You know, I've no. Okay, that's our third one. This because I can't play Tau because I've just literally sold an entire Tau army and I couldn't go through buying another one. That would be. I'm putting myself in a little box, aren't I? I'm gradually going to whittle it down until we're doing another Space Marine chapter. That's what I'm going to do. It's like Gandalf introducing all the hobbits to Bjorn in the Hobbit. It's just going to be yes, and actually no, I can't do this because of this. Um, um, but yeah. So anyway, yeah. So this is kind of what I'm interested in, sort of hearing your thoughts. I mean, I'm not necessarily just to give you an idea of what I'm kind of. I'm not. It's not out of the question for me starting another Marine chapter. I mean, I don't know if I really want to because obviously I've already got Red Scorpions and I've already got Black Templars. And yes, Sam Short, that's where we're kind of heading with this. Is I'm pondering about obviously doing a nice big poll on it, getting people's opinion on it. I've already got a guard army. I'm not necessarily against doing another guard army, but it would have to. I mean, I'd like to do a really thematic one. So if someone was like suggest like Death Calls of Krieg, I would possibly commit to doing that. Um, Admech, yeah, I've no problems doing an Admech army. That's another good choice. Um, yeah, and Eldar, Wraith, whatever. Yeah, again, I just don't see myself playing an Elder army and enjoying it. It's just one of those things. So yeah, basically, what I'm going to plan to do is we're going to have a chat tonight about it. Armies that are currently in the Crusade are Sister Battle, Nurgle, Demons, Genies, Cults, Raven Guard, Tau, and Black Legion. Well, there we go. So, I mean, ultimately, if we could avoid any of those armies, that's probably a good start. So, Gene Stealer, Colts, nice. Yep, okay. I mean, yeah, that's another. But I think Gavin is doing Gene Stealer Colt for that particular crusade, so I'd kind of want to avoid that if possible, because I'm not necessarily saying that I need to conform with what they're doing in their crusade, because the whole. I mean, I do want to kind of join in with it, but at the same time, I'm trying to make this more about something for the channel as well as just that. And what I would plan on doing is using this army primarily for very narrative-based missions. So we would do it from the point of view of the army's built not from a point of being very optimized in a match play situation, but being much more focused on character and how genuinely that army might function depending on what faction and things like that. So, um, and Felpire saying, could do Necrons become a fellow? Yeah, again, it's not the end of the world. Homebrew SM chapter would be interesting, or one that you can team up with Dom for some big team game. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if I was going to do a homebrew Space Marine chapter, yeah, I could do a successor army. It's not, again, the only thing I would say about Space Marines is obviously I've got 2 Space Marine armies already. So could I mean, if I was hand on heart said, would I go out and do one off my own back? Probably not, because I've already got 2, which I'm quite happy with, and I think a third one might just be kind of getting a bit silly from my collection point of view, anyway. Um, but I'm happy to entertain chaos, demons, tyrannids. What else we got there? I could stretch the custodians, I suppose. Not a huge fan of them, but yeah, Thousand Suns. If you want limited models but expensive, what about night? I mean, technically I've already got a night army actually as a fail because I've built my temp. I've got a Templar. Essentially, I have a Templar themed knight army. So in the same colours as my Templars, I currently have 3 knights and 2. I'm trying to remember what they're called now. 2 of the smaller knights, but they're the ones from Forge World. Um, they will come to me in a minute. When I say that, I mean I'm looking it up right now, guys. So Forge World, here we go. Mainly because I have kind of forgotten actually the exact name of them. Morax, Knight Morax, that's the one. So it's the Mechanicum ones. So technically they're, yeah, because I went with the Mechanicum side of it for my army just to make it slightly different than just doing a traditional standard Imperial Knight army. I went with a Mechanicus Knight army basically because it gives me more options from Forge. Daryl says Death Calls of Krieg if you want to bankrupt yourself. I don't necessarily mind bankrupt myself because what you have to understand with this is and yes, Azafel, I'm happy to list everything. It's fine. I was just trying to obviously encourage a bit of discussion about it because I'm always very interested to see what you guys think. Because the other thing there's several things I'd like to do with this army as well is to not only make it Crusade Force but also have kind of a story behind it and kind of a setup behind it. So maybe even let people from chat start to name some of the characters as well, so you feel like you're quite involved with the creation of it. So I mean, just in general, I mean, I presume everyone thinks that's a good idea. I mean, would everyone like to be involved with that? That's one of the things. I think it's quite good. And obviously, it's one of those things. I saw the video when it was well over 2k for 2k for 2,000 points. um, but the thing you had to bear in mind with the way I was going to build this army, it was not going to be a mass purchase in a very short period of time. It was very much going to be on a month by month basis. That what I was hoping to do would be to essentially propose 3 units at the start of the month and go, look, I'm planning on doing one of these 3, which you guys have possibly helped decide on, and then basically you say, okay, I think the army would suit better with this by voting for it, and so that you guys get involved with it, and that way it kind of grows from that point forward. So Jack's saying, Isaac's saying Beastman Guard, and Felpar says he likes the idea. Jack saying you would would love to be involved. You can name characters after us, and we can dislike the videos. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm trying to achieve. It's a little bit more involvement from you guys, and just trying to pull pull people to sort of be invested in that army. I think it'd be quite fun to do. And obviously, from my point of view, it's a bit of work, but at the same time, I have a lot of established armies, so me working on a different army is not necessarily a problem. But anyway, I'm gonna let you guys sort of a renegade chaos marine warband of mismatched traitors. Another good idea. Right, you guys take that away for a minute because I think it's about time we actually brought up the challenge stuff. So let me just cue this up. Oh dear, that's gone a bit awry. Need your comments up at the same time. This is actually a bit annoying. Right. Okay. They're saying that I don't really need my. I mean, I don't need my face on this screen. This is actually quite an amusing thing, right? Because obviously when I do the stream, I tend to have all my streaming software off on the right hand side, and I realise actually I don't need to see my massive face on my other screen because I don't need to look at myself. I can see myself on 3 different screens now, which is quite disconcerting. So I may as well use this other screen over here for doing these other bits. So let's see here. Okay. All right, guys. So obviously the challenge from last time was to paint I think it was a vehicle basically, and you had a couple of weeks to do that. And we have had 6 entries if I recall. Just going to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I have 6 entries here. So let's go through them in no particular order. So here is the first one. That is not it. This is it. I clicked the wrong. I clicked on the Tom and Dom challenge area. That was quite amusing. Excuse me. So this is from Aaron. Quite a regular entry person that does entries for us. And this is a Land Raider Prothemius. I think I love different versions of Land Raiders. I think they're cool. And obviously, I'm sorry you can't see my face at the moment, but I want you to get the full picture. Where if it's good res, I want to give it a nice big one so you can see exactly what's on the model. So as you can see here, quite a bit of detail done on this guy, and a very kind of damaged look, which is quite cool. And I think I did catch on his Instagram. It was actually kind of a recovered wreck or or working version of that particular Land Raider, if that's correct, from an Orc compound with some Death Watch involved. But yeah, I love the colouring on it. It's really well done, and it does look like it's kind of just been pulled up from a pit of like, oh look, there's a Land Raider in there. We better get that out and recover it because it's a ancient piece of tech. That's right. Yes, Aaron Brown saying it was lost to the Orcs and then recovered. Yes, that's good. I did read it correctly. Excellent. Yeah, but yeah, Aaron, really well done, man. That looks fantastic. I must admit, I just personally, I find some of your models you paint really good anyway. So all the time, I don't think I've actually seen a bad model from you yet, which is interesting. But anyway, let's move on to the next one. Bear with. We have another Space Marine entry here. And this is from Matt. I think it's Matt. Is it Matt? I'm going to double check if it's Matt Gash on. I want to say that. Do I want to say that? It is Matt Gash on Discord. That's right. I just wanted to make 100% sure. And this is equally good, but for different reasons. Because I find this particular model is very cleanly done, and the highlighting is great on it. The metal works very very good on it, and again this is fantastic for other reasons than for Aaron's one, in the fact that it's very cleanly done. And but I appreciate both sides of that particular job because they're both equally really hard to do because I find when you're doing a dirty kind of model, I think sometimes you can get a bit carried away. And when you're doing a clean model, I think sometimes you can be guilty of not getting carried away enough with the little details. I think there's a good balance on this one here, so I think that's really good. I think from what chat is saying, I think they agree as well. So yes, well done on that, Matt. Congratulations on that one. That looks really good. Yes, shame it's Ultramarines, but that's neither here nor there. Now, I just need to very quickly just check the names on something here, because I'm very sure I have this right, but I always like to be 100% sure. Yes, correct. Okay. So let's move on to the next one, which is this is Mr. Blue, who has done us a Grot Tank. And I must admit, this looks great. I love the one thing that always draws me on this one is the lighting on it. Looks really really fantastic. but it's the little details on this one, like the grass traps and the tanks. Sorry, the grass traps and the tracks and the mud. The rustiness of it is just about spot on, I think. And it's lots of little details now I think look really really cool. And I think he's, if I remember correctly, Mr. Blue, if you are still there, I think you've started a few more of these based off the back of it. That Grot Tank looks great. Is that a conversion? Now, Aaron, if Mr. Blue isn't here, I did speak to him the other week, and I think he bought these from, I think, Cromletech. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're there, Mr. Blue. I hope you are correct there. Just checking that. It's okay. Good. If he's there. I don't know if he's there. He might not be there. Yes, there we go. Yes, it was there. Good. Excellent. But yeah, really good looking model, man. Well done. Congratulations on that. Good paint job. And let's move over to the next model. And I think this is Orcs' entry. I don't know if Orcs is actually on here tonight. If he's not, if you are watching this back, obviously congratulations on getting this done. Just going to shrink that down a bit. There's kind of four for this one. So yeah, another Ultramarine. And another, this I must admit, this, having looked at a couple of these impulses being made now, I'm quite excited to get one of my own. But again, another really good paint job. Obviously, very traditional Ultramarine colours, as it should be if you're doing Ultramarines, obviously. I really like the fact there's some detail in the back cabin of this one, which is quite cool. We had a quad photo this time around, so we could actually see all of the model. And I'm sorry, guys, can you just bear with me 1 second? Oh, sorry about that. Something going on with the door. Anyway, so let's come back to this. So yes, really nice that there's some detail done in the back of this as well. So going inside the compartment. I mean, that's the nice thing about the Impulsor. Actually, it's one of the only models where you have to, I suppose, you have to paint the back of it or the inside of it because it's actually open, unlike a Rhino, which you can cover up and hide. So, but yeah, well done, Orkster. That's good job on that one, man. So let's move on to the next one. And this is from Paul, who I don't know if it's in chat or not, but he does frequent our Discord. And we have a Nurgle Plagueburst Crawler, if I remember correctly. Very traditional colours, but nothing wrong with that, obviously. Really like the. I mean, it's quite clean for Nurgle, but that's not necessarily a problem because this is their colour scheme. So, see a few people making comments on these ones here. So, yeah, but this is actually one model I'm probably going to hopefully pick up for my Death Guard army at some point. So yeah, yeah. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your submission as usual. Nice made use of warp block bronze on the metallic. Yeah, the metallics are cool, and it's good to see some of the pitting work sort of picked out as well because I think that does add to a Nurgle model quite a bit. Especially I learned that from doing my Demon Prince recently, just going through some of the skin work and things like that. So we have our final entry. I think it's our final one. Just going to double check. Yes, and this is from Taggart. And we have a Lehman Russ battle tank in his camo that he's chosen. And Tag, I don't know if you are here tonight or if you're not watching it. I personally think your camo is improving a lot, quite a bit as well. So well done for that, man. But yeah, he's got for anyone who has seen some of his stuff, he's been doing a fair bit of this style of camo, and it's come out. Yeah. Hello. Ah. tagged. Is it? Are you Isaac? Are you tagged on here? Is that correct? Because I just want to double check. Yes, you are. Okay, good. I was just double checking because the other one, yeah, because you got a different name on Discord. So apologies. So thank you for your entry, and I will remember that for next time. And yes, in Jack, you're quite right. It's nice to see some guard sort of every week. So because it's one of the, it's actually one of the entries we don't get an awful lot of guard floating about on our entries, but yeah, that's fair enough. It's just one of those things there. So anyway, but well done for that. And we'll now go on to the one that myself and Dom we both decided this one earlier. So I had a chat with Dom over WhatsApp while we were just mulling away who we were going to pick. And let me just make sure I don't do my normal idiocy of having it up on the screen before I've actually queued it up. It's just like it's not even a reveal. So yes, this is the one that me and Dom like the most out of all of them. However, we do obviously stipulate that, as usual, that honestly, man, they're all fantastic. So don't give up. Always keep going. This is not a competition really or star thing. This is more of a challenge for you guys to complete every 2 weeks that we really enjoy you getting involved with. So I would hate to feel anyone disheartened if they've never maybe won one or anything like that. So anyway, here is this week's winner. Bosh! It is Mr. Blue and his Grot Tank. We both decided this model looked great. Dom especially commented on the lighting from the lamp. It looked really cool on the side of the tank. So we were both really really like that as well. And I obviously I had the fortune of speaking to Mr. Blue while he was actually doing the I think the tracks the other week while we were on our Discord chat. And he's sort of saying he went through the process while he was doing it. And I think it's a worthy model there. So well done with that. So Mr. Blue, congratulations. And yeah, and that is it for this particular segment, I suppose. Unless I have another challenge for you guys, which I do. I do have another challenge. Now, I should probably. What I'm going to do, by the way, I'm going to type this up as I'm doing it, so that I don't forget it and then not come back and do it. So I'm just going to the painting challenge, going to the pin message. Let me just do a new message here. So anyway, this is going to be a slightly more open-ended, but also slightly restricted one. What we'd like you to do is there's I suppose there's 3 ways of looking at this. So first of all, the restriction on the model isn't there now, so you can paint anything you want. But what we would like you to, and obviously this kind of relies on you guys a little bit being honest about what you've got and what you haven't got. But what we would like you to do is find your oldest model that you've had not painted and paint that. Now, when I say oldest, there's a couple of little caveats to that. Firstly, it can either be the model you've had sitting longest in your backlog, so something that you've maybe gone and just stuck to the side and said, I don't want anything to do with that for a while, whatever, for whatever reason. It can be the oldest kind of model that you've purchased, so something that you purchased, back in, like, just an example, back in the 90s, which you've had sitting there and not done anything with, and technically that would obviously meet the criteria for both of those, but I'm just trying to give you an example. Or from a point of view, from oldest being an example, it could also be something that you've maybe gone and said, oh, I'm just going to keep putting that model off and I'm not going to paint it and I don't want to paint it, or maybe it just, for whatever reason, there might be a reason maybe you didn't, but you might want to revisit it now. Now, obviously, this might not be for everyone, this challenge, but I think it'd be quite interesting to, it's more of a, I suppose, a challenge to kind of say, I know Captain Jack, and that is exactly why I didn't say anything earlier, because I was very much like, oh, he's going for his old stuff, this could be good for him. Now, the other thing you could do, if you really want to, if you haven't got something, some people are very lucky in the fact that they've got all their models painted, and they don't need to do anything. Make it out of your oldest bits, and then paint it. This is what so it's kind of like a classic model or a really old model, or some kind of old kit that you've had lying around for ages that you kind of you're going to do. And obviously, I really hope you enjoy doing it. There might be reasons why you haven't painted it, but I think it'd be quite cool because it's one of these things that one of the things I realised when I was painting my Necromunda gang is it pushed me out of my comfort zone a little bit, and I tried some different colours out. Those people don't exist, Aaron. Yeah, I know, mate. They don't. You're quite right, my friend. People always have unpainted models everywhere. But yes, so yeah, so what I'll who are these people with fully painted models? I mean, I know again as a fell, I understand, and Daryl's saying he can't even remember what his old most unpainted model is. But yes, Daryl, but there'll be one. There'll be one that you sat there and you've gone either, oh, I don't really want to paint that, or I'm trying to put that one off, or whatever. Box of shame. Exactly, Aaron. Exactly. So just find the thing in there. I mean, ultimately, this is more about giving love to the model that maybe hasn't had it in the for ages. That you've bought one, you've put it down to one side, and you've gone, oh, I'll get around to that at some point. I've got them. I've got them. I've got them hiding in one of my desktops there. So uh, Isaac has a version of Nork Dead Dog for my Traitor Guard. I've had him for a while. There you go. Gavin says, Daryl, paint the gash. Yes, paint the gash, Daryl. That should be a nice 2 week special. So let me put this into. So just while we're having a chat here, I'm just going to write this up in here. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what you guys have got, because the other thing is it may bring some stuff out of the woodwork. And equally, when I say old, if you want to go out and buy a really old style model and spend your money on that, that's fine. That's technically kind of what I'm trying to talk about is old models. Is whether they've been old manufactured, old sitting in your collection, or stuff like that. Yeah, that's the idea. I need to look, but I hope it's not another Land Raider. Is to find. I'm just typing this up at the moment, guys, so apologies for my slight distraction onto the other screen here. I would hate to forget all this and then wake up in the morning and go, ooh. Okay. Let's do that there. I suppose I better type correctly as well, and to make more sense. This will be due in on, let me get the date on this as well, so you guys have a little target. So it's going to be the 30th of March. We're almost at the end of this month. That is insane. And let's pin that. It's very nice pinning these actually, because we can always go back through all the challenges, which is quite cool. I was going to have a quick look at all the messages while I was looking at the screen. So Mr. Blue needs to have a look. But he hopes not the Land Raider. Stu, well, I don't know who Stu is, but apparently he may have Daryl's Nagash. I hope you get him back. Oh, and Isaac's gone. Sorry, I might not have caught you before you went, but goodbye. Thank you for coming along. And Jack is saying, when I first started 40k, I bought some Marines from a friend's friend, one of which was Mr. Calgar in metal. There you go. Perfect. Calgar in metal. Do that one if you haven't done him, obviously. I mean, if you have, kind of pointless. But yeah. So yes. Yeah, I hope that challenge is right with everyone. And I'd really like to see what you guys come up with. So yeah, I mean, moving on from all that, basically, I mean, what else have I been up to this week in general? Well, I'll tell you what I have been doing. I have been watching the new season of Unforgotten. I don't know if anyone's actually watched Unforgotten. Um, there's well, there's 3 seasons. The fourth one's currently live at the moment, which I'm been enjoying the fourth season. Good fun. If anyone who hasn't watched Unforgotten, I believe it's on certain streaming services that we may or may not all have. Well, it's in the UK anyway. But yeah, definitely check that out. I'm enjoying that. Because yeah, Catch Chat the missus and the mother-in-law watching it. I don't know what that makes me, but anyway, well, we'll leave that one there. I enjoy it anyway. I like a good murder style thing. It's good. It's good to watch, especially if the story's written well. So, um, and Pinhead Larry says the oldest model has to be a bloke drone. I'll get it. There we go. I'm genuinely hoping this either pulls out stuff that you've been putting off, or stuff that maybe you bought like years and years ago that you've forgotten about. Because I just love it. I would absolutely love this challenge to produce stuff where people have stuff that they've had sitting in a box for 20 years and they go, oh, I didn't realize I had this. I'm going to paint this one now, like it's like a 90s orc or something from Warhammer Fantasy. Um, Cat Jack says it's no Luther, but yeah, that's fair enough. It's different styles. There's plenty out there. So, um, but yeah, but other than that, I haven't really had a lot of chance to catch up on TV. I've actually, as I said earlier in the stream, I'm actually currently off this week, which is really good. So I'm finally getting a week's break off because, everyone needs a break now and then. Aaron Brown says I might have some rogue trader. There you go. That fits the criteria because of the age. I mean, the other thing I'd love to see is if someone has some bits from ages ago that they can make something coherent out of. That would be awesome as well. But anyway, let's scoot back to what I was talking to just before I did the challenge stuff, and flipping over to how, this. I'm just going to move these screens around because I realise I've got the chat on the. This is just very, very rookie of me for somebody who's in IT. And he sold his second edition Eldar a while back. Fair enough, man. Well, hopefully you can find something if you want to join in with it, man. Um, but yes. So yes, what I'm going to do with regards to what I was talking about earlier with this crusade thing, I think I'm going to do it in a few stages. So first of all, we'll decide which army it's going to be, and we'll do kind of. I'll try and I think we need to narrow it down first. So we'll work out where we. I think what I'll do is I'll probably go through what I have, and I will basically rule out everything that I do not want to paint. And what I'm going to probably do is put this as a poll on the YouTube community page because unfortunately Discord's not very good for doing polls. But although you see the thing annoying about that is I don't really want people outside Discord to be involved with it. Not because I don't want them necessarily involved, but it's just more because you're the guys I'm pitching this to, and I think it's only fair that you guys get the vote on it, so to speak. So, speaking of that, let's add another invite in here for anyone who has joined us late. Although I suspect that is probably not the case, but there we go. So yeah, so we'll do the army first, and then once we've done that, I'm actually going to let you guys help me decide the colour scheme as well. I'm not going to really pick it. I'm going to pick something that it's kind of got a popular kind of like to it, decided by all of you. So if you've got a colour scheme, but obviously the colour scheme has to come second because armies, in my opinion, have very different paint styles depending on what army it is. If it's a different faction, stuff like that, it's quite interesting. If you want to send me the options, I can do a straw poll link. Oh, I mean, yeah, I can do that as well. That's cool. Sorry, I must admit, Jack, I completely forgot about a straw poll. I have used it before. I can probably sort that out as well. That is a good shout. I will add that suggestion because essentially I think I don't want to go too crazy because I think one problem is giving too much choice is probably going to just make I don't want to be in the danger of too many options cause it to be so spread out that doesn't really give a clear, decisive result to it. But what I'd like you guys to do is also think about it not as necessarily an army you want to collect, but an army you'd like to see created, and with a story that you'd like to see created, and all the units created and things like that. So that's the kind of point of view you should come at it from, not necessarily from, oh, I really like this army, that's the one I want. Try and think of it from a different point of view of it being an army that's been sort of done in, I suppose, actually going kind of your guys on it, because we do this. This is all done for you guys. This is the we both enjoy doing all of this, but we wouldn't do this if people weren't watching us. So that's where we want to stick it to. So and then once we've got the paint scheme down, I'll then have to decide what the hell I'm going to do about buying it, because I think it's going to be a very gradual thing. What I would hope to do is on a monthly basis have a unit, buy it, paint it, and then decide another one next time. Mr. Blue says, in that case, you can do a second round after eliminating all the zero. Yeah, that's a good shout, Mr. Blue. That's a good idea as well, man. So I will I'll factor that in as well. So we decide on a unit for the army's theme. I'd buy it in, and then once I've painted it, we'd move on to the next one. I'm not necessarily going to say month to month, because obviously I have other things I need to paint and get done. So I think it wouldn't be very fair to myself, obviously, to say that I can't do anything else other than this model this month because it needs to get done. But it will kind of, I suppose, pressure me a little bit into getting those done. But I'm hoping something really cool will come out of it. And a story. It's an army I want to put into my Galeris sector, which I have for the channel, which I think would actually end up being quite cool from that particular respect. Adding it in, and then even having it as an option that if people necessarily came to play us and they couldn't bring an army with them, they could play that army, but I feel like they'd actually been involved with the creation of it, which is one of the other goals for it as well. So anyway, what's everybody else's paintwork looking like at the end of this almost 1 hour? I will be stopping about on the hour because my throat's going. It might be all the drink I'm having, but no lottery results this week because I don't have any lottery numbers. So unless anyone actually specifically here needs the lottery results, I suggest maybe look on a website for tonight. Has anyone actually finished anything tonight? Okay, Felpire has actually one side of the blade almost with a good green gradient. Good. Well, keep it up, mate. Don't give up. I was going to say he's dying. I was saying your Doomstalker looked fantastic. So that's you don't give up on your painting, man. And as with everyone here, for those who I just did something bad with Discord there, didn't I? Let's go back to full screen, shall we? There we go. For those of you who maybe lurk in our Discord, I completely appreciate that. Feel free to post. Honestly, no one's going to judge your work in a bad way, in a negative light. As far as I can see, I've only ever seen positive or constructive criticism. I've never seen someone come out and say anything awful about a model. So don't feel that's a problem if you haven't joined in with posting it. So Kevin's saying is Helldrake. I completely appreciate that, my friend. I understand that's a pain in the ass. And Mr. Lee saying he's assembled an exalted flamer. Yes, one step at a time, my friend. We just come, and as Azafel says, we just come to see Dom's disappointed face as you read the numbers out. I'm sure if he's watching that, he's probably just equally gone very sad face. I hope he's not watching this, not commenting, waiting for the lottery numbers. And then when I sign off in a minute and he goes, "Oh, what about lottery numbers? How will I ever know?" He'll have to look them up himself. But yes, so with regards to the custom army, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do that towards the end of the week, where I have a kind of I'll work out the armies first that I I could potentially play, and then list them all up, and then as Mr. Blue says, maybe just do the first big list, and then work out all of the ones that have no chance of winning at all, and then whittle it down. And I'll try and get that done at some point during this week, so it's up. And then what I think I can't start anything until next month anyway because of monetary commitments. So it's halfway through the month. It's a bad time for me to start buying things. And then we'll kind of go through the theory of, do we start from the HQ, work our way down? Do we have some troops? All that kind of stuff. I mean, I want to have quite a rich idea behind it and try and have some fun with it. And I'll probably make an actual room in the Discord chat for this particular discussion, so it doesn't get sort of muddled up with everything. And I will ask Dom if he wants to be involved with it as well, of course. Yeah, but obviously, I think we've had this discussion before, where if you're both painting the same army, there's always going to be slight differences to it, so it might not work out that way. He's got his Sisters of Battle Crusade going, so it might not quite fit into his into his workload, which I completely appreciate. It's slightly different for me, but yes, that's the plan anyway. So anyway, I think I am probably going to end it there because I'm having more trouble here. But I hope everyone's enjoyed themselves this evening, and very congratulations to Mr. Blue for winning the challenge for the Grot Tank. And obviously, if you've just joined us, and just before I go, if you haven't checked it out, there's the link for our Discord. Please come and join us, get involved with us. We'd love to see you there. I'll add your membership to you, obviously, as soon as you post in our waiting room. And before I go, as usual, as you know, we're sponsored by Goblin Gaming. I'm not going to quite go as mad as usual because I haven't got the breath for it. Essentially, if you really want to get some models and you want to help us out at the same time, just pop into the description section, find the link for our Goblin Gaming affiliate link, click that button, and then as soon as you're on their page, log in and buy something, and then basically we'll get a small proportion of whatever you spend on there into the channel, and we use that to do multiple things. So that's just, yeah, it helps us out where we can. So and ultimately, I know you guys do it because we see a steady stream of bits coming in, and it's fantastic. So thank you so much for spending anything in there using our link, because it just means that you help us out with that. So thank you so much for all that. And yeah, that's probably where I'm going to leave it. So until next week, when I'm hoping my partner in crime will join us, Mr. Dom. You better join. You better be there. I will catch you all next week. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, everyone, and see you soon.